Hey YouTube, welcome to the Subprime to Prime YouTube channel. Here, our focus is to get you from subprime to prime, and that all starts with knowing where you want to go on your financial journey. This is for information and educational purposes only and not intended to be financial or legal advice. Please like and subscribe. Thanks so much. Now, let's get into it. In this video, we're going to talk about, the best ways you can gather information on investing. Investing, you might not have ever invested before, or you've thought about it but didn't know kind of where to get your information from. Well, I'm going to cover a few places where you can start and at least begin to dig into places where you can get some information to at least start your process. Okay, so gathering information on investing is a kind of a combination of research and education. So staying informed about current market trends and things like that are super important when you're looking for what to invest in, what's in my price range, what can I do to accelerate it. So a few educational resources to start with are definitely books, online courses, and webinars that cover the basics of investing. So that's where you're kind of going to start, learning the basics. Whether you want to start with, stocks and mutual funds and things like that, because if you're working, you already have a 401k, you're kind of already investing, but you're basically kind of in a blind state because it's unlikely that you know exactly where your 401 dollars are truly being invested and things like that. So you want to begin to learn what are people taking your money and investing in, without your, knowledge or whatever. So, and you want to look for, material from, reputable finance experts, and academic institutions, or, that actually do this for a living, a business, or whatever. So you actually get good and accurate information. So starting off there, again, with books, online courses, and webinars, just to get the basics down so that when you do talk to that finance expert, you kind of have a foothold, or at least a starting point on where the conversation is going to go. Now, you want to stay abreast of the financial news and different publications. So, like, if you start to begin to regularly read financial newspapers or magazines, like Money and, Yahoo Finance and things like that, the Wall Street Journal, those are places where you can get financial information, and usually they'll have things that are trending in the financial space, and they do have stock tips and tips on what's happening lately in the cryptocurrency space and things like that. But you want to begin to read some of those just to get familiar with the lingo and really, really immerse yourself in the financial space. Now, if you're not into those magazines, totally understand, but it's one of those things where finance and financial literacy, it's not like topics that are super, super fun for people, and typically people need to take these things in bite-sized increments. That's where that professional comes in. But keep in mind, with those professional comes fees and commissions, and in the stages where you're learning about investing, you don't want to be paying out, that type of money right away. At some point, it serves a purpose, but you do want to get into things that are more in line with what you can do. And it doesn't always take a ton of money to invest. And you don't necessarily have to invest in stocks. I'm using these as an example because everybody knows, or have heard about the stock exchange, or stocks and bonds and things like that. You can invest in real estate. I mean, that's a smart move. That's an asset, a tangible asset. Whereas investing in small increments of a company, tiny pieces of a company, might not seem all that worthwhile, and you hear about stock market crashes and bull runs and things like that. Well, those are things, like I said, you have to educate yourself about the lingo. So moving on to online forums and blogs and like Investopedia and places like that to get useful information, and from diverse perspectives. You don't want to get all your information from one place. You really want to kind of see what the pattern is, what all of these collective bits of information kind of show you. And then, there's reports from like brokerage firms and specific stock funds and things like that. And then, you can also go on YouTube and look at different channels that specifically talk about investing per se, and then podcasts as well. Now, you do have government regulatory websites like the SEC and the FTC and places like that where they're talking specifically about securities and how they're supposed to work, and what red flags to look out for. You can definitely get information there, but again, it is the government, so take that however you see fit. And also networking and community groups. There's probably meetups for like-minded people who want to begin to learn how to invest or where to pool money to invest. Maybe you want to invest in a commercial property as a syndicate or something like that. I mean, there's a ton of groups that meet up to do just that. If you're willing to put in the time and effort to find one that might be in your local area and that fits your criteria, what you're wanting to invest in the first place. So you have that. And then, of course, there's always financial advisors and consultants that will give you advice on where to put your money, where it would best would be the best have the best advantage and things like that. But again, there's fees and costs associated with that, so please be mindful of that. And then you have these apps and these automated tools that that you've probably heard of, like for example, Acorns and Moo and different places like that. And some of them give you free stocks, and there's a lot of folks in the financial space that really talk about those. And so if you're wanting to look into some of those are a good place to start. And then you have all kinds of historical market data that you get, especially when you're watching some of these yahoos on TV. Be leery about getting some of your information from the commercialized stock investment advisors and things like that. I won't go into names, but there are several out there that do just that. And those are just some locations where you can begin to learn about stocks. They're not going to help you invest just yet, because that's going to take actually somebody professional holding your hand and walking you through the process. But still, it's super important to learn. And one more caveat with investing: you have to allocate a finite amount that you want, or a percentage of your income that you want to go to investing, because it's super important, and it's what helps grow your wealth faster. In most cases, you can get double-digit returns on occasion, and that's what you're looking for. You want your money working for you, and not necessarily you working for it as much as you do now. So just food for thought. And I invite you to our VIP channel on the school platform for more information on all things finance. Thanks again, and again, like and subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you later.